So I'm going to respond to a certain something an Eagles fan said 4 days ago. And the only reason it's taken me 4 days to respond to it is because it was just brought to my attention yesterday. So with no further ado, let's get into it.
OTR.
I said what I said. And everybody want to come and try to compile these little stats. What's going on, Don Wine? What up, what up, what up? Corey, what's up, what's up, what's up? Everybody want to tell me who they think is better than Jordan Howard. It don't matter who you think is better than Jordan Howard. You got to be able to prove it. And
So he said what he said. Essentially, you can hear him say it in the video. And he says, everybody wants to compile these little stats, but it doesn't matter who you think is better than Jordan Howard. You've got to prove it. Well, the only way to prove it is to prove it by the stats, because that's the only way you can compare players. So right then and there, he's set in his ways. He's not changing his mind. He said what he said. I'll give him credit. He stand by what he said. Doesn't make him any less wrong. So let's get into it. Let's talk about Jordan Howard. Forget about Lord Brunson, because he's not going to listen to what you have to say regardless. So let's bring it up. So let's go by yards. Okay, where does Jordan Howard compare to other running backs as far as yards last year? Because you know what? I don't care what he did 2 seasons ago. I don't care what he did 3 seasons ago. You're only as good as your previous season. That's the way you are measured. Now, if we want to talk about Jordan Howard's Hall of Fame candidacy later in his career, yes, then we'll take everything into account. But you're only as good as your previous season. And ever since he entered the league, he had that fire season. He had a pretty good season after that. And then last season, he fell off. Now, people will say, well, Tariq Cohen took too many carries. Well, let's think about it. Jordan Howard, in his first year, had 253 carries. Well, how many carries do you think Jordan Howard had last year? 250. He didn't average 5.2 like his rookie season. He averaged 3.7 yards per carry. Now, before we get into yards per carry, we're just going to look at yards. Total yards. Jordan Howard ranked 14th among qualifying running backs. Okay, so he's mid-pack. Exactly where we think he is. But I'll actually put a couple guys above him, because they averaged more yards per carry, just didn't have as many carries, didn't have as many opportunities to gain as many yards. Sorry about that. Wife called mid-video. But I'm going to put a couple of these guys above Jordan Howard. Why? Simply, they didn't have as many attempts as Jordan. Averaged more yards per rush. Okay? And that would be Sony Michel. I'll put Merlin Mack, Melvin Gordon, Alvin Kamara, and Kareem Hunt. Kareem Hunt, obviously, his season was shortened because of off-the-field stuff. Alvin Kamara only had 194 carries. Obviously, he's splitting a little bit with Mark Ingram with the Saints, but now he's going to be the guy this year. Melvin Gordon, obviously, injury-shortened season. Merlin Mack, injured at the beginning of the season, had a better second half of the season. Sony Michel, it's obviously rookie season, had a great, phenomenal rookie season, despite sharing the backfield with quite a bit of other running backs, and still managed 209 carries, which is pretty impressive. And he had almost as many yards as Jordan Howard. He had four less yards, even though he averaged 4.5 yards per rush. And as far as yards per rush, Jordan Howard falls to 39th. Now, taking some quarterbacks out of it, that probably rides up to about 36th or 35th. As far as plays above 20 yards, Jordan Howard falls all the way to 22nd. I will give this. Jordan Howard had 9 rushing touchdowns. That was good enough to be 7th. Yards a game. I got to double check this real quick. If I'm not mistaken, he falls pretty far down the list. Yeah, he's 23rd. And he also lost 2 fumbles. But why would I put somebody, because he mentions in the video, and you guys, I'll leave a link to the video in the description. I'll leave a link to both videos in the description if you guys are curious what he said or if you don't know who Lord Brunson is. He's mentioned Christian McCaffrey and Alvin Kamara. Now, in the 25-minute live stream he did, he admitted that Alvin Kamara could arguably be better than Jordan Howard. But originally he said he wasn't. But he thinks somebody like Christian McCaffrey, who's a joke, he views him as a scat back. Well, he's still a better pass catcher than Jordan Howard. He's a better third down back than Jordan Howard. He's a better overall player, so I'm going to make him a better overall back. Because if you want to say that Jordan Howard can run between the tackles better than Christian McCaffrey, okay. But we're not playing in 1940, 1950, or 1960 where you're Larry Zonka and you got to plow through the line. Now, yeah, once in a while those plays come up. But for the most part, the way the game is played now, you need an all-around back. Zeke's an all-around back. Todd Gurley's an all-around back. Melvin Gordon's an all-around back. James Conner is an all-around back. Kareem Hunt's an all-around back. Christian McCaffrey is an all-around back. Alvin Kamara is an all-around back. The fact of the matter is Jordan Howard's a 2-down back in the NFL. His hands of stone. He only had, 200 receiving yards or less in most of his seasons? He's not a very good pass catcher. You're not going to put him on third down. You're going to put some of these other guys out there. Another guy you mentioned, Joe Mixon. Better pass catcher. Had more explosive plays. When you have a running back that can give you explosive plays, that is a big plus in the NFL. The fact of the matter is, you can only measure a back by its previous season. Now, if you want to talk all around last 5 seasons and you want to use stats and say, okay, this is where Jordan Howard stacks up, okay. But you're only as good as your previous season. Period. See, he doesn't want to take you to an account. A lot of these guys had fire rookie seasons or guys that have stepped up in their sophomore year, like a Christian McCaffrey or Joe Mixon. So the fact of the matter is, he's wrong in almost every account because you can only compare people by their stats. Period. That's what you can do. I don't know what he was trying to argue. Either way, it's been one giant rebuttal. Please like and subscribe. And Ethan, take me home.
Go Big Blue.